All right, let's see if this, okay. Hopefully the phone stays there. Good morning, Alan, and maybe YouTube. Last night I was talking to Chris and said maybe I'll create some fountain pen related content for YouTube, whether it's about pens or about my craziness with color and fountain pens and whatever. Anyway, the purpose of this video is to show you, like I'm doing it right now in a new way, but this is the general idea of like my journaling and the color, like, the color coding of the mood, like what mood I'm in when I'm journaling. So today is like a mix of sad and happy because I had a very bad dream, which I will write about entry with you. But then I meditate kind of in the morning. I take my Vyvanse and I lay in bed and wait for it to kick in and kind of meditate and think about things. Anyway, so blue is the color for sad and green is the color for happy. And so I think I had a breakthrough. We'll find out when I actually journal, but first we have to pick the color. So we have our dip pen here, the Pilot Utushi. Oh, for fuck's sake. Iro Utsushi. And so I have 6 inks I have selected that are perhaps blue-green. I can't remember all of them. I'm not sure about this one. And this one's more of a green, but it's also one of the coolest inks that exists, so I figured I'd show it. So we'll start here. This is Jacques Herbin 1670, yeah, Emerald de Chavour. And it is a shimmering ink, which means that there's these gold particles in it. And it's green. I mean, it's mostly green, but it's kind of a blue. I don't know. So we have to first give it a little shaky shake to get those particles distributed in in the ink. And then open her up. And so all I'm just going to do is write the name of the ink. And then at the end, I'll show all the different inks. And we'll pick. And then we'll go journal at the coffee shop. So we just give it a little dip. There's actually a line on this one that will tell you where to dip to. So we'll just write Jacques Herbin Emerald de Chavour. Okay, and so I have this dip pen. I have other dip pens too, but we won't get into that yet. This one's a medium, but it's a Pilot medium. Pilot is Japanese, and Japanese nib size is generally on the finer side. So like a medium Japanese nib is going to be like a fine in a German nib. Anyway, so yeah, this is more of a green, but I don't know, maybe I'll be happy by the time this is over and I'll just do green. The next one is Diamine Aurora Borealis. So you just dip it in water, as I just did, to get the ink off, and then, paper towel, shop rag in that case. So we'll open up this guy, give her a little dippy-doo. I think you can probably tell by now why this is so cathartic for me. It's very meditative. A little shake to sometimes it will collect at the bottom. You can see there's like a big, there's a big blob. So sometimes that blob will blob, but anyway, we'll see. Diamine, nope, that's good. Diamine Aurora Borealis. Okay, then that. I need to get a camera. My birthday's coming up. I'm going to ask my mom and Benton to get me a camera. so I can actually do a good job with this stuff. I don't think Diamine Twilight's going to really work. It's going to be like a... Well, let's just see how it looks. It's also interesting when you're dealing with color, you know, like if you just look at one color on a page, with no other colors to provide any sort of relativism, if that's the word, then it will look a certain way. But, you know, sometimes it's good to, even if you know, like I know this isn't going to be what I'll journal with today probably, because I'm not pure sad, I'm sad and happy. But, so we'll do Diamine. Yeah, it's like a blue-black Twilight. So the reason I mentioned the different nib sizes for the dip pen is, I'll grab my Sailor, but yeah, I'll grab it in the nibs, but I won't use because it'll take too much time. But I don't know if you can see these. There's all these different nib sizes for the Sailor pen. It's this white guy. But what I like to do is I'll do this dip exercise with whatever size nib I intend to journal with that day, because of course the pen choice matters too. And then of course I have to fill the pen. Diamine Turquoise. Anyway, so I guess I'm running with a kind of a fine nib today, even though this is a medium, a pilot medium, which is weird because the actual, I'll show you my pilot medium pen. It's actually way wetter than this, but in any case, Diamine Turquoise. Yeah, so that's very turquoise. That might be the choice. I think I spelled that right. And we'll do these two and then we'll be done. And maybe you're enjoying this. Just put it on, maybe you just put it on in the background. This is Diamine Marine, the next one, which is one of Brian Goulet of Goulet Pens' favorite inks. And I rather like it as well. So, give it a dip. A little tap. Diamine. Yeah, that might be perfect. Blue-green. Marine. Yeah. And this last one is another Jacques Rubin, but it's not the fancy bottle. Like these are, they're based on like, I guess, specific years of like significant years of Jacques Rubin, because they've been around for like hundreds of years. But in any case, Jacques, I got a little on the paper. Okay, Jacques Rubin Blue Calancourt. Fucking don't know. Not gonna work here anymore. You know, from Office Space. Anyway. Right. Jacques. Oh. And you'll also notice sometimes inks write wetter, as they say, than others. Blue Calancourt. So my light isn't great in this office yet, but we can go closer to the window to show you, and then we'll be done. And then I'll pick a pen. Well, let me write with the pen real quick so you can see that, because this is a Pilot. This is a Pilot E95S pocket. It's like a pocket pen. It's very small. And this, I'll write below here, and then you can see that this is a medium, but it's going to be way bolder, I believe, than any of this. Pilot, yeah, Pilot E95S medium example. I like, and then fuck, I have my Lamy here, so this is a Lamy medium. German Lamy 2000 medium example. Because you were asking, like you said, your nib on the pen you got was fine, and you were wondering if you wanted more. Okay, so we're gonna grab our phone and not knock anything over, hopefully. I'm gonna go to the window. Okay, so ignore the two ink colors at the bottom. I think that's like a black of some sort in the Pilot. Yeah, that's a cartridge. I use cartridges in that because the converter is very small and I hate it. And the Lamy is a Lamy green. So it looks like it will be between Aurora Borealis. No. I think I'm gonna go Diamine Marine. I'm going with my original guess. Yeah. Blue Kalanake is pretty good too, but I think we're gonna, Brian Goulet's a good dude, so we're gonna go with Diamine Marine. Anyway, maybe you enjoyed this. Okay, or if I put it on YouTube, maybe YouTube enjoys it. Okay, have a nice day.